together as a full band, and they will remember the last concert is one section at a time. They'll never do that kind of concert again. This is an example back here of what it is in 7th and 8th grade band is playing together on a daily basis and playing a lot of songs. So we told the students that they're playing music today that's not very challenging, but there's a lot of people playing, and there's a lot of different parts going on. So I told them, hey, is shooting baskets all that hard? And I said, no, well, how about shooting baskets with about 2,000 people behind it going, miss it, miss it? Yeah, like at a Mavericks game. That's a lot different. So we're very proud this group has done a fantastic job rehearsing today, and I want to introduce members of our band staff that work with them, teaching our clarinet, double reed, and saxophone beginners is Miss Jenny Dennis. There's a couple ex-band students, tardy as usual. I'm glad they didn't disappoint. Graduates now. How's that going, band? Yes, that's right. It's a Red Raider band. That's right, former students. All right, and directing our trombone class, euphonium class, and 2 classes of flute is Mr. Donald Bruce. Director of beginning percussion is actually the director of percussion for our whole cluster at Liberty High School, and he comes over every single day to the middle school, even though he's a high school director, and works with our beginning percussion, and he's done a fantastic job. We're so proud this year, for the first year to be with us, is Dr. Rob Parks. If you can see him back there. You can see Dr. Parks. He's tall. And also our director here at Fowler of 7th and 8th grade percussion, who will be working on a semi-daily basis every other day with their 7th and 8th grade percussion is Mr. Robert Howard. And also I thank Mr. Wiseman, incredibly supportive of our program and all the fine arts programs here at Fowler Middle School. Thank you, Mr. Wiseman, for being here this evening. Well, as I told you back at the last concert, that we wanted these students to improve and be good musicians. Not for you, but for us. You listen to it a few minutes a day or so. We listen to these students all day long, every day. And so we want them to improve, and you're going to be very, very impressed with them, what they've done in just one day. And just think, this was only a few months ago they were playing, Twinkle Twinkle, and now they're really doing complex things. You'll have a chance to hear them again in May at our final concert, where the music will get even more challenging and be more intricate and be more exciting to hear. We do have a solo contest for the beginners that's coming up in April. In the beginning of March, they're going to receive a piece of music to work on as a solo. They'll get a CD with it, and also a chance to play with the CD for a judge from another school, and be adjudicated, a little bit of form saying, hey, work on this was good, work on that, and actually get a rating, not ranking, but a rating. Either 1 is superior, 2 is excellent, 3 is kind of a rough day. It's kind of a fair type of situation. But they'll have some feedback in about the 2nd week of April in solo. To get them ready, and pretty much by the end of this month, you should be seeing something from Dvorak's New World Symphony is going to start coming home. We're going to kind of do a pre-solo. They'll have a solo of the New World Symphony that they'll have to play. Part of the test grade is playing for you. And so you'll have a little personal in-home concert from your child at the end of the month. And so we're very excited. This time next week, the band directors will be in San Antonio, performing for over 1,000 music teachers at the Texas Music Educators Association, because as you have heard, I'm sure, many times, is that we are, for a full symphony, we are made up of 30 strings and 62 symphonic band members and 3 harps. Is the state champion called the Honor Orchestra, best in the state, best symphony in middle school in the state of Texas, and we're performing in front of 1,000 students this next week. And no pressure, 1,000 teachers. And so we're excited about that. These students have a great opportunity to do some of the great things. They sound as good or better than any band, beginning band we've had this year. Let's prove that now. We're going to start off with a wonderful "Oh Win the Saints." If you have any beads to throw, please don't throw them. But we're going to start off, and Mr. Bruce with "Oh Win the Saints."
is Mrs. Dennis. And the next piece we're going to play for you is called Old MacDonald Had a Band.
And then we want to show you what you could be doing, students could be doing, not even next year, but very, very shortly. You'll have a chance to hear our jazz band. Several of those students in the jazz band over here, this is our Jazz 1. We have 2 jazz bands. After spring break, we'll have 3 jazz bands that meet. Jazz 1 and Jazz 2 meet after school twice a week. We have many people in here who actually stand up if you're a 7th grader and sat and played this songs a year ago. Come on, stand up. All right, give a hand. And it'll be amazing what they can do. We have Jazz 1, Jazz 2. Our jazz band won the first ever National Jazz Honors about 2 years ago. The only jazz band in America, it's a middle school, to win that. It's fantastic. And you'll hear them just a little bit to show them to look forward to. We do have a beginning jazz band on Wednesday mornings that starts after spring break. One Wednesday morning, there's no audition. It is more for the traditional instruments, though, such as saxophone, trumpet, trombone, and euphonium. We do take some tubas and drum set. We will have a little audition for drum set, and if any of your children actually play, like they play flute or clarinet or French horn, but they also play piano, we have a ton of students. Like we have one of our bass players, Marshall. Where are you, Marshall? Where is he? There he is. He plays piano. He's an oboe player. And so he plays in our Jazz 1. So really talented. You too, euphonium player. That's right. Andrew plays euphonium. And so we can also, if some of your children play that, you can come and play. We learn a few songs and play at the final concert in May at the beginning. So we have a beginning jazz band. Our final song is a little rock and roll, but we do ask that you stay here to hear our jazz band and let you get you excited about next year, because in May, we're going to be seeing which band of the 3 bands, it's all ability based, that these students will be in for 7th grade. And the goal is to make a 7th grade band. We do have students that don't make a 7th grade band. Very few. But we want them to keep working, keep practicing. If you're taking advantage of private lessons, please do so. They can get that done. I've been teaching 27 years, and I'm a tuba player, and I can't teach trumpet like a professional can. And so please consider private lessons for your child. It's not too late. This is Hard Rock Blues.
lot of jazz is made up on the fly. It's called improvisation. And what the students do is based on the certain structure of the music, they stand up and then perform a solo while they're playing right there. They make it up as they go. And so you're gonna hear from, we've been working on this all year really, really hard. We listen to about 10 to 15 minutes of jazz like professionals before rehearsal starts. And then we spend another 10 to 15 minutes working on improv, which is just, like I said, making up things as you go based on a certain structure. You're gonna hear from 3 soloists on this, and I'm really, really proud of them. When they first started, the hardest thing to get these students to do improv is that they have to stand up in front of their friends and do something they've never done before, and then hope they sound good. And so there's a lot of like, stand up and play, and they go, and then they stand up and they're like, and they sit down. And so if you hear them now versus what they sounded like in the fall in the very first rehearsal, it's wonderful. And you're gonna hear from, on this one first, Mr. Zach Gross on the bari sax, then Nathan Brooks on the alto saxophone, and then Marina Cook on the trombone. And these 3 at the beginning of the year, correct me if I'm wrong, but improv, were you guys good at it? Have you ever done it before? Never done it. Zach had done it a little bit because he's been in the jazz band since he was in 6th grade. Zach is very, very good. You're going to be impressed. But all 3 of them started the year with minimal skills in improv, and now they are starting to sound as wonderful like professionals. And all the students who do beginner jazz band will do the same thing when we start. So the first piece we're going to play is Watch It Now. It's a swing tune. You're going to hear from those 3 people. Just bear with me for 1 second. We're just going to play a few notes to warm up, and then we'll start.